All right, welcome back to TCC, and welcome to something I haven't done in a long ass time. This is going to be a custom video, and yeah, wow, it's been a minute. Just with everything going on, and just not really doing anything major that I really felt like needed like videos, or just started working on stuff and then realized like way too late. That's like even if I want to do a video, it's a little too late now because I pretty much did the entire process off camera. Um, yeah, I literally just got this figure in, and I have already forgotten his name. That is how little I actually care about modern post Endgame Marvel stuff. I know he's from Secret War. Haven't watched Secret War. No interest in Secret War. Don't care about Secret War. The only thing I care about is this figure, specifically this head, but also the body. The body would be good for other things. This head sculpt, though. Ben Mendelsohn. This is a fantastic mass market head sculpt for this guy. And the very first thing that I thought when they announced this figure before, like, I didn't care about any other ones in this wave. I seen this one and I went, ooh, that gives me a freaking idea. Because I also have here, Director Krennic in the Black series. Yeah, you can tell this is one of the old ones. He don't look so good. Now, supposedly from what I've seen is like the sculpt on this is actually pretty good. It's just the paint apps were terrible, because I have seen some custom painted ones that actually came out pretty nice. But yeah, you can see this is like the Walgreens special. Somebody probably finally broke and bought this a while ago. It's all smashed to hell. I think this was like $10 on eBay with free shipping. Very first thing I thought of when I seen this figure was, I am going to take that head and I'm going to pop it onto the Black Series Director Krennic, because the old one is freaking terrible, and apparently they're just never going to update it. Even though they have the likeness rights to Ben Mendelsohn, they did a re-release of all the Rogue One figures, Krennic just got ignored. One of like the main villain of the movie, whatever. But one of the issues that I didn't like foresee when I slapped on the pre-order on this, I didn't even know until I seen people pointing out in some Facebook groups. It's not like your typical Marvel Legends head, where there's like a ball joint that goes up into it that you can just easily pop off. I was like, oh yeah, that'll be a super simple swap. No, it's a whole neck thing, and I can see why they did it that way. Kind of. It would have been nice if they had two separate pieces, but because he transforms and you can't have like a Caucasian skin on a green head. That would look terrible, or vice versa. So, this comes out like this, like a kind of like some old like Mezcos and custom heads do. So it's a whole thing, which means we're gonna have to do some work to get this onto this. But I have already seen somebody do this. It looks fantastic, and it's super worth the effort. Probably looking at about 15 minutes worth of work, depending on the tools that you have. Speaking of tools, things that you are going to want. X-Acto knife, obviously. Something that not everyone might have access to, but a Dremel, and or something that does dremeling things. And specifically, my favorite bit, you're going to want this little something along the lines of this. A nice circular, grooved, like drill a bit for your Dremel. This bit has gotten so much use since I bought my Dremel. And then the last thing you're going to want is either a heat gun, a hair dryer, or just plain boiling hot water, because you're going to want to heat this head up. So I guess first things first, I'm going to take Krennic out of the box. I haven't actually looked at one of these in a long time. Alright, so yeah, there he is out of the box. A little blast from the past. The Ollie's special right here. The Walgreens special, their official mascot. The Rogue One and Last Jedi figures. And then, yeah, like I said, looking at it, the sculpt's really not bad. Just Terrible, terrible paint apps. You can tell it's Ben Mendelsohn, but especially considering they re-released all those Rogue One figures and those look pretty good. Putting him up on the shelf next to them, it wouldn't look very good. Does have that really nice Imperial officer body, which they've been reusing for a long time. I think this might be the same one they used for Thrawn too. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not gonna get too far into that. So basically, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to heat up this head until it is nice and soft, and we're gonna catch up after that. All right, so now that the head is nice and soft, very squishy, very soft, pliable plastic, what we're gonna wanna do is basically we're gonna wanna cut it as close to the original as possible, just for purposes of fitting, so it doesn't look kind of funky, because, you know, he does have a neck piece coming up, and it does kind of go up into it. So basically we're going to cut under the jawline a bit, and then up under the hair, up to the hair sculpt. So let us get started on that. And if you got to reheat it because it's settled or whatever, or it's not freaking soft enough, obviously do that. Be very careful when using X-Acto knives. Like always, I have cut myself plenty of times, so don't need to remind me. All right, probably be a little bit safer to do this off camera, so I'm gonna do that. All right, so after lots and lots of careful cutting, you should end up with something that looks about like this. I tried to keep a little bit of the detail on the underside of the neck there, just, I don't know, because it's a little too smooth on the bottom there. If it ends up looking weird, you can always just chop that off. And then it doesn't have to be like super even or pretty looking under there, because don't forget you are going to be drilling a hole into that, so don't worry about it too much. So yeah, try to get it as close to the original as possible. And then, you know, I'll get in there and I'll smooth that out with some other Dremel bits and stuff so it doesn't look as harsh. But yeah, so next step, we needs us a hole in this here head. So that's what we're gonna do. And like I said, this is probably the optimal bit for something like this. If you have something similar or maybe even something better that I don't, there you go. But yeah, we're gonna plug this into our Dremel here. Ta-da! And we're gonna get to work. Alright, so while I was doing that, the Dremel did kind of jump on me. It will, you got to be really careful with that. It'll jump up, it can bite the edge. It almost dragged up a little too far. There's some slight damage, but I don't imagine you'll see it, especially after you put the cape on. Get in there and get some of this debris out. So basically what you want to do from here is just keep dremeling and seeing if you can fit it on the body until it's at a depth and a position that you're happy with. I feel like that's pretty close. One other thing is you'll notice with all Hasbro heads and stuff, you'll see that it's got like a lip around the top. There's like it's a little bit thinner at the base of where it goes in to where the head peg goes in, and then it kind of balloons out around it into a sphere on the inside. That's to hold it on the peg, obviously. So I did try to maintain something similar while I was dremeling mine out. Not perfect, and this was never meant to be perfect. This is not going to be like a factory perfect type thing. This is literally just like a, hey, do it at home, and it'll look good on the shelf, you know, as long as you're not screwing with it too much. And, you know, if you dremel out the hole too big, that's also fine. You can literally just shove blue tack in there. Like, that's, again, like, this isn't supposed to be factory articulation. If you can get it to where it goes on and it just stays, like, obviously perfect. But if not, you know, blue tack, that is a customizer's best friend. It's basically our version of duct tape. So let me see. All right, so yeah, as you can see, it's a little high up. So probably, yeah, I'm going to want to get in there, drum it out a little bit more, but you can definitely see what we're getting. The end result of where we're going to be. This is going to look fantastic. Like, I don't know why they didn't do this just as it is, but, so yeah, just do a test fit, see where it's at. I can see, just from putting it on the figure, I got to Dremel just a tiny little bit more, so I will get on that. All right, a little bit more Dremeling. Let's see where we're at. Ugh. Yeah, I think we're just about there. Yeah, let me see what it looks like with the cape on. So yeah, with the cape on, it actually looks pretty good. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tweak a little bit here and there, see if I can get this looking just a little bit better. And then it's always going to inherently look a little kind of off because of the difference of skin tones there. But let me just keep fiddling with mine, and then we will catch back up in a bit here. All right, so I had this like situated, and I thought I was happy with it. But then, like, the more I was looking at it, the more I realized, like, hey, yeah, I definitely need to keep tweaking it. So what I ended up doing, again, if you have Dremel bits, this will work for you. If not, trying to finagle it. So what I did was I took this bit, and you can use other bits, but this is just what I have. I used this bit on a semi-low setting. I think I had it down to like 2, maybe 2.5, and I just kind of gently kept pressing it here to create that divot for the underside of the chin that the Black Series has. Tried to mimic that as closely as possible, without busting into where I had already put the hole, because I should have done this first. This should have been the first thing that I did, but whatever, it still worked out. So I used that, made the actual indent, and then I took a soft triangular bit, and I just kind of gently started scraping that out, going around, kind of like that, and then use the regular bit that we started with, just kind of keep going deeper and deeper in, because it was sitting on the neck peg just kind of funny. So basically what we have ended up with here now is that it sits nice and flush. Now these sides aren't completely even. It doesn't bother me at all, but if you're like some sort of perfectionist, you can get that done the way that you want it to. For me though, that is borderline perfect. That is borderline factory work. Like, that looks fantastic. Because this collar bit's supposed to go up pretty far, like tucked under their chin, basically. So that looks really good. It's a little loose, so I'm definitely going to put like just a dab of like blue tack up in there just to keep it steady. But, I mean, as it is, like, it doesn't come off. Like, it's not going to fall off. So I did a pretty good job keeping the little lip underneath. Did a pretty good job with that. I'm actually pretty proud of that, all things considered, because that could have gone pretty bad. And then yeah, we'll slap the cape on so that you can see. Look at that. That is basically a remastered Director Krennic figure. I think that looks fantastic. Again, yeah, like I said, it's a little loose, so I'll put the blue tack up in there when I'm done with this video. But there you go. And I mean, all in all, this whole thing took me maybe 20 minutes. It's not a very difficult custom. Hopefully, like, the instructions were clear. You could follow along if need be, like, easily. And then, yeah, you end up with a nice body to do custom stuff with. I mean, if you got, like, an extra neck piece, you can just pop that onto this little ball peg there, and then you got another civilian body to use. But, yeah, as far as the Ben Mendelsohn head on the old Director Krennic body, that is basically flawless. This is going to look fantastic with the rest of the updated Rogue One stuff that we have. So I am very, very happy with that. Again, this is what we were working with. My, how far we have come. And speaking of head swaps, just for fun, I did this one yesterday. I was just messing around with the Vampirella. I got to do the eyebrows if I want to keep that head, but I was just looking around at like what I had, and I was like, yeah, I really don't like the Vampirella face. Let me see if I can find something else. It's the spinneret from the what is it? Keep Your Vows or whatever Spider-Man 2-pack. And then I dremeled out the Vampirella hair. I might keep that. If I do, like I said, I'll have to paint the eyebrows. That's just what it is. I not really relevant to the video. I just looked over and she was sitting on the table next to me. But anyways, so that is how you can get an updated Director Krennic head without having to pay someone to customize it for you, or buying a third-party head online that might cost you like $50. The Talos figure, I mean, he'll probably be on clearance, but I dropped, I think it was $27 on Amazon. So basically $27 for a nice head sculpt and a good civilian fodder body. And yeah, like I keep saying, I am super, super happy with that. Super impressed. Very simple. Just follow the instructions. The only real part that you can really screw up is when you're cutting out that neck piece, but as long as you just kind of do chunks at a time, just a little bit on a little bit on a little bit, and just try and use the original head as like a map to see like where you want to cut it, you shouldn't really have too much problem. And then as far as it goes, in the steps that I did, I would probably use something to push this down first, because if you don't have that little indent, it's not going to rest. The chin's not going to rest properly here, so it's going to look funny. It's going to like stick out, like it'll look weird. So probably want to do that first before you start making the hole. But as far as it goes, it still worked out for me just fine in the end, and I am happy with how it all looks as a final product. All right, so that was fun. I haven't done a custom video in a long time. Still don't know why we never got an updated Krennic, but as far as it goes, I mean, if you probably be paying $27 for one anyways, but in this way, you get to have a little bit of fun doing it yourself. So, Hasbro basically sold you like a model kit, something like a build your own Krennic. I could definitely see the prices on him jumping though once more people figure this out. So I would buy Krennic now. Well, you can still get them on eBay for like $8, like a loose one, or I got one in the box. It was like $9 and free shipping. A guy probably lost money sending it to me. He's like, please take this Krennic, please. But anyways, yeah, that's it. That was fun. I haven't done anything like this in such a long time. It was really nice just kind of getting back into stuff like that, making a little custom video. I definitely kind of miss it. But like I said, at the same time, it's like I just haven't really had anything that I felt was worthy of making a video on. But this is definitely kind of relevant, and people are probably going to want to know how to do this. So I'll post this around, and hopefully it helps people out getting a nice looking Krennic on their shelf. So yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. See you later.